Hey guys, how are we doing? Okay, today is a big day for me. I'm going to show you my setup that I am using for the summer. No camper vans. Camper vans are just boring. Yeah, they're the sensible option and all the rest of it. But check this out. Come and have a look. This is a 2023 Ford Raptor. It's got a twin turbocharged V6 3-litre, chucking out about 300 horsepower. We've even got live valve suspension. How cool is that? It's cool, it's unnecessary, but it's cool. Oh yeah. Let's start by having a look inside the car and then we'll get onto the setup and where I sleep. So, this is insane in here, as you can see. It's like the cockpit of a fighter pilot jet, and that's what these seats were actually inspired by when they made it. If I start it up, look at all the screens, look at what happens, and listen to the noise. And that's in quiet mode as well, because on here I have an ASBO mode, which means I can turn up the noise a lot. I don't know if I'm allowed to say ASBO, but I just did. All of the setup, I love it. I've got automatic CarPlay down here, as you can see. The automatic charger, you can see Susie on my phone, look at that. Quad lock, straight into there, automatically charging it, lights up, AirPlay, Apple Play, whatever it's called. Right, enough of that, enough of killing polar bears. Let's go and have a look at where I sleep. This is a Yakima roof tent. I got this from the Roofbox company in the UK. They are the importers for Yakima products. So all of the Yakima stuff that goes on all of the vehicles, and this does, you can put this on any car really. Have a look in here. This is my sleeping quarters. It's lovely. It's very spacious, really well built. And as you can see, I've got skylights all the way through. So you can open it up, look out the window, look at the views of the mountains. Amazing. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's waterproof. It actually works as a waterproof tent. I know that there's a lot of tents out there that leak, but I used this in Andorra last week, and many of you will have seen the weather there was atrocious. It was the worst weather. I was actually hoping to do this video to show you my setup when I was there, and I couldn't because there was no backdrop, there was no colors, you couldn't see anything, and everything was sopping wet apart from my mattress and my sleeping bag, which was bone dry because the tent works a treat. So really, really good quality, this thing. Now inside, this gets a bit cool, okay? There's two parts to this. When we open this up, this is just an awning, okay? As simple as that. If we go in here, come and have a look, inside the awning, this is it, okay? As you see, it's a big, spacious area where I can stand. I am not short. I am 6'2" and I am standing in here. I can even jump up a bit without hitting my head. And that's where this gets really cool, okay? So on here, this is my shower system that is connected to the roof shower, which is over there, which we will go and explain in a minute, and we'll get onto that. But basically, I can stand in here, nobody has to worry about seeing me naked, and I can take a shower, which is awesome, especially in the middle of nowhere or in a car park where there's loads of people. Whip this out, it takes about 5–10 minutes to put the setup up, and I can have an actual shower. And it doesn't mean I have to go to a hotel or anything expensive like that. So that's really, really cool. The system we've got on the back, again, is Yakima. It's a 2-bike rack, and now watch this. If I want to take one of these bikes off, and bear in mind how secure this is, I can race off-road in this vehicle, and those bikes, they don't hit each other, which is very, very important. You get a lot of bike racks where they just smash into each other, and I hate that, especially when you have very pretty bicycles like I've got. It's solid. But number two, how quick can you take your bike off without faffing, without unbalancing stuff? Watch this. Two things, release here, push the button, the strap goes up and pops out, as simple as that. Top bracket up, push down, bike's off. As easy as that. To put back on, it's exactly the same, it's just as easy. Lift the bike up, front wheel goes in, back wheel into the slot, make sure the strap comes through the spokes, and once that ratchet is in, give it a bit of a yank. This arm comes up and over, pull down. That is locked in. And there's actually another little cool feature. If I pull this up, I get a little bike lock. So this can actually wrap round the bikes, wrap it around anything, the wheels, the frame, and it locks itself. How cool is that? Amazing. They really have thought of all the little extras. Ease of use, obviously, because I don't have a camper van, and that's what we're comparing this against, Practicality of living, it is harder and it's not as good. I would accept that. I'll be the first one to put my hands up because there are some slight issues with a trophy truck against a camper van for living reasons, okay? However, talk about made to measure, this is where it gets really, really cool. So to take the Yakima bike rack down, put your foot and lean, the bikes come down. Again, they're solid. Like you can see them moving around, they ain't hitting each other. So they're absolutely brilliant. Now, what I do is I go the trunk, dump that down and look at this. I've got a solid platform. Okay, I'm on a bit of a hill here. It doesn't hit the bike. It actually misses the rear mech by about 10 millimeters, which is perfect. Then I pull out my cooker and I can make my dinner here. How cool is that, okay? I don't have a kitchen, I don't have a fridge, but hey, I'm out, I'm camping, and I can get in my truck and race across off-road terrain really fast because that's essential, isn't it? That's important. I think people will agree. Tell me if you agree or if you disagree in the comments. I'll be intrigued to see what you guys think. The next issue is quite a big issue, and I'm going to elaborate because it did leave a bit of a problem in Andorra last week where I actually missed the podium because the car wouldn't start because I ran out of battery. But there's two parts to this, okay? So in a camper van, you would have, or traditionally, you're gonna have two batteries. You're gonna have one for the car itself or the engine, and all the auxiliary things that are connected to the engine. You would then have a leisure battery. Now, the leisure battery is what you'd run your fridge off of and all the other bits and pieces. The Ford Raptor, the new one, they've actually managed to make a massive car because it is massive, and they did not make enough room to put a second battery, a leisure battery in, which I think is absolute ludicrous from Ford. I believe the actual Ranger, you can do it. Again, some of you might have a Ranger. Tell me if you can, but I know in the Raptor, you can't. There is not enough room in the engine bay because the engine is so big and they haven't put a space for a battery, which leaves me with a big problem because I race e-bikes and I have laptops, phones, torches, all this kind of stuff that I need power on the go and I can't do it. But there is a big fix. This is an all-powers battery unit. It is absolutely fantastic. I can charge this up at home on the mains, and then I've got 4 output sockets. This is for EU plugs because obviously we're living in Spain. I've got USBs, I've got USB-Cs, I've got all the 12 volts, and I can charge this from the battery in the car, if that makes sense. So if I've got a long drive, I can put this to the 12 volt cigarette lighter, I can recharge this battery, and then when I get to the next place, I've got 2000 watt hours to use to charge e-bikes, laptops, phones, all the rest of it. And it means I'm not draining the battery from the car, which is crucial because in Andorra, I was parked up for 2 days. 2 days, okay? I didn't use any power from the car at all, hand on heart, I did not. I didn't charge my phone in there, anything like this. I didn't charge the laptop, I didn't do anything with the car other than opening and closing the doors. So when you're camping, I need to open the door, get my sleeping kit out, close the door, put the bike tools in, over 2 days. Now I didn't open and close the door 1,000 times. I don't know how many times it was, but it was over 2 days, okay? It came to the second day and we finished the race. I packed up the bikes, I put everything in the car, got all the kit in there, and I went to turn the car on and I had no battery at all. The car wouldn't start. And worse than that, because it's so clever and it's a modern system, you can't actually jump start these cars. You've got to have a very clever way of doing it because the electronic system in this says, oh no, I don't want to have power going in. So I was stuck on the side of a mountain in Andorra in the pouring rain, knowing I was missing a podium, and that's a bit disrespectful as well to the other people that have gone there. So for all these reasons, I couldn't get there because this thing wouldn't start. And when I went and spoke to Ford about it, Ford said, that's normal. You should just open and close the door less, which I find very disappointing when you've spent a serious amount of money on this car. It's the first brand new car I've ever bought, and I find that very disappointing, especially as this is sold as a utility vehicle that should be able to put a roof tent on and all the rest of it. So hey ho. But now I've got battery pack thanks to All Powers, and that is going to be my saving grace moving forward. I will be using this, and I can even use this to jumpstart the car if I need to. Part 2 of my showering and washing situation. This is the Yakima road shower. It's a 45 litre tank, so you can get different sizes. I've gone for 45 litres because I didn't want to get the biggest. I don't want to carry loads of weight because it would give you a bad fuel bill, and obviously I don't want a bad fuel bill, do I? So 45 litres is what I've got, which is plenty enough for a good few days of showering, cooking, washing, all the rest of it. I really like this system. So it's locked on, as you can see here, so no one can actually just unbolt it and take it off. We've got these clamped on. There's a cool little thing under here as well, which actually gives a readout of the temperature of the shower. So if we have a look at that now, at the moment we are looking at 36 degrees in there, but we are in Spain at the end of the day and it's been very sunny all day. So yeah, you get a nice warm shower. And the way it's rigged up, if I show you from here, is you pour water in the top, you then pressurize the system by undoing this one here. I'm actually on a big hill here, so this is making it a little bit harder. Lock it on like that and simply give it, that'll do, 5 pumps. It's easily enough. You can go up to 65 PSI, but I like to keep the pressure low because it means that you don't get through the water as fast. And obviously when I'm on the road, well, the next trip I actually leave on Wednesday and I'm away for 5 weeks. So I've got to learn to manage the water situation, the battery situation and all the rest of it. So when that's pressurized like that, you come around this side and open up the tap here, and that feeds through the system here. Okay, this is a bit messy. That's the cable ties that I've put in. I need to make a better system. As you can see, it goes down along the side of there, and on the end of it is a shower. That's so cool, look at it. All in all, I love this car. The reason I bought it and I went for this setup is because I'm a big believer of you only live once. I know that may seem a bit of a cliche, but it's true. You do only live once. I don't know how many years I can get away with driving something as obscene as this, or also for the emissions, because let's face it, all the cars are going electric. I'm not really into it. I am a petrol head. I love my cars. This was one of my dream cars that I really, really wanted to be able to buy, and I can say I've owned one. How long I have it for, I don't know, because it's not as practical as a van. I'm gonna put my hands up, okay? It's not as practical as a van. A van would be better for maybe my job and maybe more comfortable, but I can get in this and drive at 70 miles an hour or 80 miles an hour in Europe and do 10 hours, and I get out the other side and I'm very comfortable. I've not got a bad back. That's a massive advantage, and also it's something that I want to drive. So I do love it. I love the system. I love how it works. But I'm just a bit disappointed that Ford's feedback with the whole battery situation is open and close the doors less. That really got to me, that. Annoying. Thanks for watching, guys. I know this is a bit of an odd video and a bit different from what we normally do, but there was a lot of people asking about the setup and how it works and what I'm doing and all the rest of it. So I hope it's been of use to some of you. And if any of you are thinking about buying a new Ford Raptor, think about it carefully and think about what you want to use it for, and drop me a message if you want, because maybe I'll sell this at some point. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next video.